So, good evening, everybody. How are we all? Today we are here to do, I've lost the magazine, issue 79 in the magazine. Oh, hang on. Sorry, guys. I've got a... Today we are here to do, I've lost the magazine. Sorry. I don't know if I might not have heard that, but I have the show playing in the background. You know me, I cock up. So, today, as usual, we have a co-host, and it's Horlicks.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How is everyone today?
So just to warn everybody, Horlicks has pre-warned me that he's got someone coming on his way to visit. We don't know when he's going to be there. It's not something he can get out of. So if Horlicks needs to disappear, he will too. I'm absolutely fine with that because we all have a life. So I've got a lovely surprise for you all. We've got somebody who's currently hiding up for some reason. It's Dave Say.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, so it's nice to finally get you on to StreamYard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Can't tell you what a struggle it's been, but we're finally here. Thank goodness.
See, I find it interesting that I found StreamYard so much easier to initially use than Google Hangouts, and yet you've been the complete opposite.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, there always has to be one, don't they?
Listen, Dave, you are my one. Any day.
Thank you.
So I'm going to carefully select some of the comments that have been said already. You know, we like to say, unless you want to do it, Horlicks.
Yeah, can do. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got hello to Gordy Brooker, Fleetwood, Roger Kendall. Good evening. P40F20. Hello. Hope you're well. Gordy says looking forward to another great show from the one and only Paint with Penny and Horlicks. Hello, Adrian. Adrian says hello. Steve Graham, hello. Andy M, hello. How are you? Of course, we've got Love Minis. I know she's been ill recently, so hope you're feeling better now.
I'm just trying to get names on the screen, as many as I can.
Peter Whitlock, hello. Good evening. How are you? Ian Martin says greetings, Penny and Horlicks. Another great show approaches. And we've got Ian, VLT 290. Good evening.
Have we seen Ian VLT 290 before? The name doesn't ring a bell. Hello to you anyway. If you're new, always happy to see you. If you've been watching for a while, welcome back.
Brilliant. So welcome. Yeah. Chris Davies. Hi, Penny. We've got Steve Hyson. Good evening all. Stuart Sullivan.
Am I seeing correctly? Steve Sullivan's made the beginning of a show.
Yeah.
Next, you'll be saying Mr. Tubridy will be arriving at the beginning of the show.
We've got Chris Camplin. Hello. How are you? Levi Otter. Hello. Sorry I'm late. Looking forward to tonight. You're not late. No, we've only just started, so that's all cool. Michael John Wicks. Good evening, Penny, Horlicks, and everyone else. Hope everyone's keeping well. Stephen Owen, hi, working a late turn. I can catch up tonight. Have a great show. Okay, thank you for letting us know. And then we've got Stuart again. I have miracle, huh?
Right, so shall we crack straight on with the building? Because I need my friend Horlicks to help me with this, as you always know. Chris Campbelling, I've done a little bit of tidying up. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. So tonight's Andy
M says love the new format. I've been asleep lately. Have I been asleep lately? It looks like the beginning of Dallas.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I get you there. Yeah. The other two might not because I'm older and they're not as old.
I do remember Dallas, but
yeah,
not to watch. I don't think I ever watched it, but I know of it because it shows on the telly.
yeah.
Who shot JR?
Oh, was it Sue Ellen?
Yeah, then Bobby came back in the shower.
Oh God, yeah, Bobby got shot, and then yeah, it was all a dream. Personally, I think that smells of contract negotiations to me.
Yeah.
Dynasty. It was Sue Ellen, was it, who shot JR?
I think so.
Bless. Right. Okay. So
Right. So this week we're going to be doing the upper deck handrails. In this issue, we supplied part of the front wall of the upper deck and the rear wall around the top of the stairs. Handrails are fitted to each of these sections.
okay. I've got a slight issue at the moment. The strangest issue of all, I can't seem to find my knife. So
Oh no.
I'm going to have to do the old He-Man rip the bag open. But I have got a lovely new parts tray that was very kindly sent to me by a viewer, which is hugely appreciated. And while I'm setting up, I'll tell you the story. So I know it's small in the screen, but at the top you see my new parts tray. This was Adrian actually bought me one as well, but this was basically I had a note from Amazon to say you've got or something, and I rang them up. It says it's been delivered, and they said, oh yeah, it has been delivered. I said, but I haven't received it. I said, well, it's not signed for. I said, well, look, I've not received it. So then they said, oh, would you like a gift card? And I said, well, yeah, that'd be nice, and I can buy it again then. Oh, I almost lost this little bit. I'll come to that in a moment. So then they said something they said, and then they said about a refund, but they can't send it to me because I wasn't the buyer, and it all got very complicated. So in the end, I just went, look, sod it. Refund the money back to the person who bought the item, and then they can decide what to do. So it all got refunded in the end, which is fine. And then last Thursday, I was putting the bins out. I was sorting the bins out for recycling, and I opened this food waste bin, and there was my Amazon package.
Oh.
So, yeah. But thankfully, I almost tipped the whole thing into a big pot of food waste. So, but basically, it's this lovely little tray. So I'm not complaining. But I had one before, and it's supposed to have a plain one with legs on, and then this one with dividers. But they come out as two dividers. So the last one, that was the one sent by Adrian, and I just said, sod it, I'll adapt it. And then this other person's bought one, and I'm not complaining because this is actually free because they've had their money back. And as far as I'm concerned, there was an unsolicited parcel on my doorstep. So, oh, that's right. Right, so let's go through the parts. So I'll try and flick between. I'm just trying to get like a practice. Right, there we go. So I think what we'll have to do is flick like this. So, right, so what's the first part then?
Okay, so we've got part A, which is the rear wall.
Okay. So this is the rear wall. We'll use this one, shall we? So this is I can't remember the shape, but this is a shaped part. And it's plastic. It's got some grooves and things in, little channels, a couple of screw holes, and it's nicely painted black. Looks like it's going to go that way. I don't know. So that's that part. So the second part,
Right, that's B, and it's a lamp.
B is a lamp. This is the bit. Right, so as I pulled, I think it was this part out of the bag, this flew out. So when you open the bag, be very, very careful, because obviously we've seen this before, but it's very small. Okay.
Okay. Part C is a handrail. C and D actually are handrails.
Right, okay. So this looks like C, and I'm saying that because of the angle of it. It's plastic, but it's covered in this nice chrome color. So yeah, we've seen handrails before, haven't we? And D is this, not this. Uh-oh. Right. Is missing. Oh, here. No, that's not it. Right, let me double check the bag. Ah, there it is in the bag. So this is why we don't throw the packaging straight in the bin until we know we've got all the parts. So this is part D, and this looks like it's going to be a push fit connect. I can't see any screw holes. Oh, there's one there, but it's not all the way through. So I'm wondering how that's going to connect. So, oh, Paul's got a family crisis, so must go. Okay, take care. I hope it sorts itself out. So the next parts are...
Okay, so we've got E, which is a handrail support.
Right. So I'm guessing these are going to plug into it somehow.
Yeah, maybe the last part you had.
The part that I'm worried about, yeah.
That.
Something along those lines, yeah. Along those lines. I genuinely haven't opened the magazine yet. Okay, so the next part.
F is a grab pole.
Okay. It's like a little jigsaw puzzle today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, and G.
G is a front wall.
Okay, myself and Dave were commenting on this before the show. We found this quite interesting. This looks like the bottom bit of, you know, where you'll put your feet, or where you shouldn't put your feet, but you do put your feet. So, and some little heating bits there, perhaps.
Heating vents.
Heating vents. So, yeah, we had a bit of a conversation about that. So the next part is...
Okay, so that will be H, and that's the front window frame.
Okay, and that's that. So I'm guessing that's going to go in there, or like that, or like something. That'd be interesting to find out, won't it?
Yeah.
Right, and there should be one part left.
Yeah, which is I, and that's another handrail.
Okay, so pretty much like all the other handrails, plastic, but with this chrome coating on it. And that should leave the screws.
Yeah, JP screws, and there should be 5 in there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is.
Yeah, and we'll probably use 4 as normal.
Yeah.
And AP screws, there should be 4 silver ones.
Which there is. So if I can't get the focus in today, there we go. So I'm going to take an intermission. So if somebody wants to play some or sing some intermission music.
Look at the comment. Oh, we've got Gross Models joined us. Hello, how are you? Matthew Boreham.
That's not singing.
I seem to be 74 issues of the Routemasters behind. Stuart Sullivan, how are you this week? Horlicks, hope feeling better. Not really. But I'm all right.
So these AP screws, they're silver, but I'm popping them into a pot full of black screws. But there was one silver one in there already.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody remembers when we last used them. We seem to use one screw to death, and then we leave it for a couple of weeks, and we go, no more of that screw, and then suddenly it comes back again.
Yeah,
Actually, I was thinking I've got some silver ones here from my last issue, but
Right.
it's BP screws, because I was saying on my last video, like, well, you haven't seen it yet. I did an issue, and I ended up with loads of DP, BP, AP, and JP screws.
Yeah.
And there was nothing to do with them, so I've laid them all out, and I'm suspecting that they're going to be used for the following week. But I've not had that before with the Routemaster. Normally, I've used everything we've had, so
yeah.
But
Okay, I'm just going to do one last thing before we start. I'm just going to get my camera software, and I'm just going to make that fixed focus. I think we seem to get on better with it as a fixed focus, don't we? And after having a bit of a tidy up last week, can you see what I found?
Ah.
I have found the missing screw bit. So I've now since lost the other little bits, but they're on my desk somewhere. But I now have a full complement of screw bits.
brilliant.
Right, so camera 930, advanced, turn the autofocus off. Let's pick a part. Let's pick this part. What do you reckon about there? Ish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be all right.
See if I turn the light out. It's just bouncing a bit too much light off. Oh, that's really good, isn't it? That really shows up parts. So also last week, week before, I might have said it already actually, I had a bit of a problem part I picked up from the news there. Did I tell you about my little boy?
Yes.
He broke his arm. Yeah.
Mm.
So it's a sad moment because I only have one boy now. I thought it was interesting though that the part that came through the post, through the battering ram that is the postal system, it survived fine. The one that was carefully delivered to W.H. Smith's got broken. Well, you don't know with these news agents, do you? Right. So let me get what I think of the parts ready. And would you like to go through the parts?
Yeah.
Or through the stage?
Okay, so we need to take the rear wall 79A, which will fit around the top of the stairs. Check the orientation of the part and push fit the curved section of handrail 79C into the top of the wall. So that's the handrail that's got the curve in it. Push fit the lamp 79B into the recess in the wall so that the light bulb goes through the hole.
Oh, that's nice.
Interesting.
Right, so this is what I've got. So this is the part. This is the orientation that it should be. So you've got two screw tabs there, and you've got the curved bit there. So this is then going to go into there, and it's not a great fit, but it is a push fit. So I think what I'm going to do is get my needle file, you know, the ones that we don't need until we actually buy them, and then now we can't let them go.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give that just a small rub, not much. I'm expecting this to not be enough. That's just going in the top now. Right. So this might take a little while, but to be honest with you, I'd rather these holes were too small than too big. But if they were too big, I suppose we could just put a tiny dab of super glue in them. That's perfect. Right, but they need, it looks like you can't put one side in then the other. You've got to put them in, because obviously as you put one in, it's going to create an angle. So
it's like both together.
Yeah. So line the top, just the base of the blob bit in, blob bit, what should we call it? The tab, and then get the second one in. That's possibly still a little bit too small. Ah, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Look at the fit on that. I don't know if you can see it.
Wonderful.
You'd think that was made to measure, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That's nice. I like that. I can see that there might be more to come. There's a little square bit in the corner there.
Oh.
So, right. So the next one is the light, which is going into there.
Yes.
And, oh, that is a really nice snug fit. That's beautiful. That is, if that was just a fraction of a millimeter bigger, it probably wouldn't fit. And make sure you get it into the recess. I've actually got mine rotated slightly wrong. There we go. And that might answer the puzzle of what that loose LED is for. You know, the one that's connected to the lights?
Yeah. Yeah.
I suspect that will go in there. The upper deck lights. But you remember, you get the little circuit board strip.
Yeah.
But you one loose LED. So I suspect that's that one. So that's going to light the staircase, is it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See how much of a genius this guy was who made this Routemaster. Right, so I am really happy with that. I would, if I now had to remove those, I wouldn't be comfortable doing it because they're so snug. But that I am. You see that I'm pushing it. You see the dimple in my thumb, pushing it. You see, I am pushing it hard. Do you know what, Chris? I just read your comment and I just sort of skimmed it and understood what you meant. Then you corrected yourself, and then I saw the mistake. And you put snug as a nug in a rug. Bug, I mean. Yeah, maybe that will be the next film that Disney do or Pixar. It's Nug's life. Stage 1, Horlicks.
Yep. That's it.
Okay, so I will hand you over for part 2 then.
Okay, so stage 2. Turn the rear wall 79A around and push fit the handrail support 79E into the notch in the top of the wall. Take the angled section of the handrail 79D and fit one end into the socket in the curved handrail 79C. At the same time, fit the peg on the top of part 79E into the socket on the underside of part 79D.
Oh.
Okay. So what I think we will be, I'm going to put the light on. I know it's bouncing some light off, but it's just a little bit easier to see. So we've gone from this angle, turning it round to there, and you can see, having done this corner, you can see what that corner's for. So that's going to be this piece, and you can see there's a little tab there. So it's going to go with the long thin side up, and that will go in on. So the connection points are actually there on the top. You see them there, 2 little marks.
Yeah.
So if this is too big, it might be a bit more difficult to put in.
And I've just taken a note of the picture. Are they? Is it hollow one side?
Yes, right. So you've got a, oh, that's why I like a parts tray. Right, so you've got a hollow side there, and then you've got that bit there. So let me double check. I actually had that on the wrong way round, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So you want the hollow side
facing outwards,
pointing this way. That's interesting. So you want that hollow side pointing towards the light. So the nice smooth side will be on the inside.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong. Can I just have a little look ahead of the magazine? I'll be honest with you, I'm not happy with that. This way round makes more sense to me. There's a little nodule there, but we don't know if we're going to... I don't think we'll see this side. The nicely finished piece. This is a little bit more matte. You've got a hole there for something, although the hole's on this side. Very little detail around the hole there, but lots of detail there. I'm going to make a call, and I'm going to say it goes that way.
Well, I would offer it up to the back end of your bus first, where the stairs are. Offer it up to the back end of your bus. You know, your top deck seats.
Right. Do you mind if I do that off camera then? Because obviously
because it's all down to angles, isn't it?
Yes. Just because one angle isn't going to be shown doesn't mean the other one will.
Yeah, I know. As you say, I mean, later on in the magazine, I'm just looking ahead, and I can see that the hollow bit is in that same direction later on as well.
I can't figure out where it's going. Oh, I can't. Right. Let me have a look at the completed bit. Because it doesn't show where it's going to go. Right. I think I've got it. No, I haven't. No, I really don't know. I really genuinely have no idea. So, is it the bench seats?
At the back, yeah. On the last bench seat, side of the bench seat, at the back.
Yeah.
I can't find a point where it connects. Ah, got it. Found it.
What?
Well, I found a bit where it will fit. Right, okay. So, as you come up the stairs, it's going to be on, as you sort of turn around the corner, it's going to be on your left.
Yeah.
With a little hole sticking out.
Yeah.
So, right. So what's going to happen is you're going to climb up the stairs.
Yeah.
And then as you get about halfway, you'll be able to touch. This is about floor level.
Yeah.
So this is the bit you're going to see, all of this.
Yeah.
So this bit there may be seen from inside the top deck.
But not
this bit
from
seeing stairs.
Yeah.
So let's do another double check. Right. Right. Let me Horlicks, can I send you a picture on Facebook and then you bring it up on screen? Horlicks?
Where's Horlicks?
Okay, yeah, sorry, I need to dash.
No.
Okay, I'm really sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Right. Okay.
Where are we at? What do you need me to bring anything up?
It's all right. I've taken a picture.
Okay.
Right. So that's what we've got. This is the part we're making now.
Yeah.
And this is the steps. I think that's where it goes. And I think that because there's a little
Yes. Right at the top,
there.
yeah.
So that's where the little silver bit is going to go.
Yeah.
So I'm tempted to say that you will see that as you're coming up the top deck, as you come up the stairs. But then I'm also saying you'll see it from actually on the top deck.
Yeah. I would say I would suggest you put it the way the magazine is.
Right. Okay. So are we all generally in agreement with that? Oh, my screwdriver's just fallen over. We are such perfectionists. Love it. So, yeah, I think Chris Campling's.
I'm in agreement with that.
Yeah, I am as well, actually. I don't know. I think it's 6 one half dozen the other. Right. So,
Could you change it later? Could you change it later if you're not happy with it?
I think we could. So, this is a really, really stiff fit, but it will. Yeah. Do you know what? Yes, it will. Because it depends how well. Whoops. It depends how well this bit there goes in. If that goes in, so it's impossible to get out, then we are stuck with it.
Yeah. Trial fit it if you can.
Oh, that's not staying.
Will it stay with the other bits? No, because you've got that wrong way around. Haven't you?
No. This is not going in, and it's not staying in. It's just popping out.
That way around. That's it. Push it in like that.
It's not staying in.
Right.
Look, watch this, right? As soon as I let go, pops out. Well, made it spring loaded.
Will that fit to the handrail, which is 79D, and then fit in there? Because you fit that also to the other handrail as well. So if that's at the right angle, you might have to look at the.
And then put the handrail in.
Yeah, put the handrail.
Yeah, that should hold it in then.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's all a push fit, so.
Yeah, no, it's the angle thing again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in and hold it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is trying to push out.
Yeah. Well, that stage is not finished yet because you now got to go on to stage 3 once you've done that.
Right. Okay. So let me see if I can. I've been trying to download the files, but for some reason it's not happening.
Well, stage 3.
Yeah. So
stage 3 is the upright grab pull.
That might help hold it in. Right. So I'm gonna have to cheat with the instructions. So
yeah, that's fine.
Do you want to call them up?
Yeah. It's 79F for 3, and it's take the grab pull 79F and fit the peg on the lower end of the pole into the socket on the top corner of the rear wall 79A. At the same time, fit the peg on the side of the pole 79F into the socket on the end of part 79D.
Right, so that is this piece.
Yeah.
Right, now I notice that there is going to be a direction. So it needs to go that way. Right, so
this so it's a case of popping one in and popping the other one in.
Yeah, now there's a little hole, but it's not a complete hole. It's more of a C shape, and that's going to slip underneath.
It's more of a dimple.
More of a dimple.
Yeah.
And that hole is possibly too small. Right, that's gone in. You see now this is actually resting on top.
Yeah.
So there's going to be plenty of scope for this handrail to pop out. So that's the best I can get it without any gluing or anything.
Yeah. But your grab pull needs to go further in, doesn't it? And once you grab...
One sec, guys. We have an Adrian Langley to the rescue. So I'm just going to invite Adrian in. So do you see how we can't cope without Horlicks?
No, we can't. That's right.
Right. So sorry, guys. Bear with me. This is actually, I would class this as a rather fiddly part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, do you know what? I've just got the download finished. Never mind. I'm just sending this invite to Adrian. Do you know what? I've just recently upgraded my broadband, and I've gone from 50 megabits per second to 150. Well, it should be 200 because I'm actually now sharing my broadband with my couple of my housemates.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So Adrian sent a couple of pictures. Right, I've sent him an invite to join us, so hopefully Adrian will be able to make it later on. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this like this, and I'm going to leave this like this. I know it's not good, but once we've built a little bit more, we can figure out all the angles a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then if I strip it and glue it in, obviously that's going to need some kind of gluing, because whichever direction I put it, it's going to pop out. But you can see that once I put some glue in there, that will hold down quite nicely.
I think once that... Will that grab pull go any further in?
No, that's as far as it'll go.
I see, yeah. Yeah, I see.
And like you can see, this is resting on top of the pole.
Yeah.
So that will go in quite snugly. But you see that, oops, instead of the pole going like that, it now goes like that.
Yeah.
So it's still down at the edges.
Just like a case of alignment, isn't it?
I'll be honest with you, I will go enough with everyone to go this way, but I have a little doubt, so I refuse to glue that until I know for sure that's the correct way round.
Yeah,
So I still think it might be that way, because look, you've got this nice detail there. You've got, that's obviously reverse detail, no detail there, and lovely detail there and there. So I think, but then I think that's going to be seen from both sides.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing.
I even fill that in with a bit of putty and then go over it with my Molotov pen.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I'll leave it like that. And I'll leave that and I'll call that work. Oops. I'll call that work in progress. And then we'll finalize that at a later date.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stream, Adrian. Have you
Give me a moment. Give me a moment.
Yeah, no worries. Did you hear what we said, Adrian?
Yes.
Is that what you would have done?
I didn't do that. I just went in one way.
Right. And did you go in with the hole showing from this side, the recess?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And are you 100% confident that's correct?
I'm going by the magazine basically, and I actually got my Oreo.
You also went by the magazine with the Terminator, didn't you?
Yes, most of them, yes.
That was my little tongue-in-cheek remark. If anyone there not building the Terminator, they did actually publish a correction. Look, liking this, there's a little tiny bit of doubt in my mind. If there was no doubt at all, I would go, don't like that, I'll pop a little bit of glue on there. And that is because of the width of it, that will 100% be put a little bit of glue on some scrap plastic and apply it with a cocktail stick. Don't even try and get the bottle in there, because you can see that's going to spill everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I will do that when I'm confident.
Yeah.
When I put my bit in, I put it there and I use my oil with no bit in it. Just basically push it down.
Okay. What, with the grab rail off?
Yes.
Shall we?
It's your choice if you want to take it off and try it.
See, I think it did go in, but then I took it out again. So
Yes,
right.
you probably.
So if we just gently push that.
See if that might.
It's like it's spring loaded, look. And it does that both directions. I just got a feeling that what I've done is when I pushed it in the first time, it went in, but then I rubbed a bit of the plastic. Yeah, it's spring loaded both ways. Okay, that's not a problem. So just to recap then, this part's gone into there, and then it's gone onto this part there. And then once we put this bit in, that little tab on the handrail is going to go underneath this, and then that will just push in and just marry up there. And I think I will apply a bit of glue on that bit as well.
Yeah, make it nice and strong.
It's just too much, but you're going to have to be careful. I wouldn't push there because these are only plastic. So for now, I'm happy with that, but I'm happy because I don't know if I can get a. Yeah, you can clearly see that big gap there, can't you?
Yeah.
So, shall we move on to stage 4?
Stage 4, yeah.
Okay, so Adrian has very kindly brought that up for us.
Jolly good.
This is why I love this community.
Thank you, Adrian's
seen us struggling without any hesitation. He's just jumped in and offered help.
So, stage 4 then.
Can I just pause you for a second?
Yeah.
Gordy Broker has said you can see that part in real life, recess at front, third picture down. So, which could you give us an issue and page number?
In the issue?
Yeah, you can see that part of real life, recess at front, third picture down. Okay, we might come back to that.
Not in this issue.
He's probably about the finished view. That's probably what.
Maybe about the finished views. Yeah. Yeah, finished views.
Yeah. No, you can see that it's. Yeah, you can see that that's the way they've built it, but we just want to confirm that that is correctly built. Okay, so sorry, Adrian or Dave, you were saying.
Right, stage 4 then. So it's take the front wall 79G and check which side faces the inside of the upper deck. Take the handrail 79L and place it along the top edge of the front wall so that the screw holes in the rail are aligned and the sockets on top of the edge of the front wall fixed in place with 3 AP screws. And they'll be silver ones, won't they?
Yes. So, whereas I've gone... Hang on. Right. So, This is the front wall. We can see that this is the front bit. Obviously, we can see that that's not going to be the part on display. So
Yeah.
this is the front. And what I've noticed is that these tabs are going to face away.
That's
So
right.
it's going to go up there. Now, what I noticed, I didn't notice this until I actually did a dry fit. This is actually angled
Oh yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So, like that. So what I'm going to do my just enough to grab trick, but I think I'll screw the middle one first.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to need a JO screwdriver rather than the J1 that we normally use, because it tends to be a bit more gentle and a bit deeper. But I'm wrong. No, good old trusty J1. Right. So
Silver screws.
and when you've got like 400 black ones and only one silver, probably not the best idea to pick them up with a magnetized screwdriver, because they all want to join the party.
Yeah.
So for the first one, I think I will try and pop the screw in, and my fingers are a bit
Are you using AP?
AP. I should, yes, AP as per the instructions. Right, it looks like these holes are going to be a little bit tight, so I'm going to pop all three of them in, and then I'll bring this part to the front wall. So I'm going to have to be careful how far I screw them in. They're a little bit loose, so if I would drop the screws out. So I've got to be careful of keeping it this way round. There we go, just dropped a screw. So, right. So I'm going to bring this to the part. There is, and I'm hovering it just ever so slightly above. And we'll just find that screw hole. Whoops, and I'm struggling. It's because the way I'm holding it's not the best way. But once I get the first screw just bitten, I think that'll be okay. I might actually have, yeah, that's gone in at an angle. Okay, so I've lost another screw in the process, so ignore my idea of putting all three screws in, because that clearly didn't work. So, and now the third one's dropped out. So that didn't work at all, did it?
So I'd try one of the end ones first, maybe.
Oh no, I'm not letting this thing beat me. I'm still going for the middle one first.
Middle for diddle.
Yeah. It's just the manipulating of the parts to get them where you want them. But I will not be beaten by the parts. I am the master of the parts, not the other way around. There we go. That middle one's in. So I'll put the other screws in just before I try and adjust that. But I think that'll be okay. So that's what it's going to look like when it's screwed in.
Yeah.
So we'll just check that they are lined up with the hole. I don't know if you can, but I can see daylight through those screws. That one you definitely can.
Yeah.
This one not so much.
No, because your fingers are.
So let's do this one first, because that looks like the trickiest one. Well, straight in. Seems that the screws are actually going straight down.
Have you knocked your mic, Penny?
Have I knocked my mic?
Yeah. It keeps
Can you hear me?
it keeps cutting out. Hello? Hello?
Hang on.
Penny, can you say 1, 2, 3?
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
That's
Can you hear me?
better. Yeah, that's better.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
That's better.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. That was my really bad Elvis impression. Oh, I got a joke for you. What would Elvis Presley say if he was alive today?
I don't know. What would Elvis Presley say if he was alive today?
No, I'm not dead. Let me out.
Oh dear. They got
Right.
wet.
I've got these 3 in just enough to bite. You can see they're in loose. I'm happy with the angle of the screws. I'm happy with the way the rail's sitting. So I will just gently finish off the screws. And remember, we're screwing into plastic.
Yeah.
Going until, there we go. That's increased resistance. Whoops. That's increased resistance. And so, hang on. There we go. So that's not moving.
No, that's smashing.
A little bit tighter if I wanted to, but that's ever. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it just about of an 1/8 of a screw. Not much. If there was an ever so, I mean, this part isn't going to get touched by the time you got the windows and all the seats, but just for my satisfaction, yeah. I think where there's movement, it's where it's a thin piece of plastic.
Yeah.
And it's far there, but there's nothing there.
It looks Schneischen-tight.
Schneischen-tight. Is that German?
Yeah.
Schneischen-tighten.
Yeah.
So that is, I believe, part 4. And I like that. There's a little bit of a defect I've noticed on there, but we don't worry about defects on Chrome anymore, do we? Because I've got my Molotov pen.
Yeah.
If there's anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, we received from Asset Drop 3 pens, and they're made by Molotov. Now, this particular one is black. I think this is black metallic, but they do a chrome one. This one's silver, and they're pens. So you paint with pens.
Yeah.
There is one on my desk somewhere. I actually should be 2 more now, because one extremely generous viewer bought me another one. So I've now got, there we go. Liquid Chrome, it's called.
Liquid Chrome, yeah. They're brilliant,
this
man.
one is 2 mil, so I think this is the one that was bought for me, and it is absolutely amazing. There is no other, no other word for it that you can get.
I'm just laughing at the comments.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
You can see, you can compare it to the Routemaster.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of difference. So that, now, Chrome is one of the hardest things to replicate. I don't know why. I'm not a scientist, but obviously we don't want to rub that down because we can't replace that Chrome. But thanks to this pen, we can, and they're only a few quid.
Yeah.
You can go into getting refills and things, and but if you buy the refills, you could then put it through an airbrush, and they're acrylic paints. So if you make a mess or you put it through an airbrush, you can just clean it out with water or airbrush cleaner or whatever. It's absolutely brilliant. I haven't used it fully yet, but we had some plays in some previous episodes.
Yeah.
BH German for bra, pronounced BH. Right, so yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, German for bra is stoppen die floppen. Right, so shall we have a look at stage 5?
Stage 5, yeah. Nearly there now.
We're whizzing along, aren't we?
Yeah, we're getting there. So
Getting
stage
there.
5 is 79H. And, oh,
Oh, oh,
is that your mic?
we apologise for any inconvenience. Normal service will resume shortly. So I
Okay.
just couldn't resist.
Right, so stage 5 then. Take the front window frame, 79H, and check which way round it should go, which you always do, don't you, Penny? And
I always do, yes.
And align the tabs on the lower edge of the part 79H with the sockets on the front wall 79G fix in place with 4 GP screws, and they are black.
By GP, you mean JP?
JP screw.
It's okay. Right, so we're taking this piece. According to the magazine, we're turning it this way. And you can see we've got 4 tabs there.
Yeah.
Actually, with this beautiful, I love that colour. But notice that the tabs are
set back.
This side, yeah, on the colour side. And then this is actually got a ridge there. So what will happen is that will go in something like that.
Yeah.
So that it will join there.
Yeah.
Now, I have a slight concern, but that might be accurate. I don't think I've got anything to worry about. These tabs actually come at a slight angle.
Yeah.
You see that? Yeah. Now, I've got a feeling that once these are fitted, if that is in the wrong position, it can be manipulated a little bit to a degree.
Yeah.
Saying that, you know, I've always said this at the beginning of this. Nothing about the Routemaster specifically, and I know a little bit about buses from a bus driving point of view. So this is all. We are still continuing the learning curve. So I will get 4 JP screws ready. And I will plan my attack. So I think I will... Sorry, go on.
Not forgetting, of course, that this window frame is interior. It's not exterior.
I have made some observations, but I will show you. I will go through those observations when I've finished installing it, because I think it will be easier to handle. So I'm going to take 1 screw. I think I'm going to go in the middle again.
On the JPs?
Yeah. Oh, we have moved over there. What I'm liking about these parts trays, you notice that I've turned one upside down and one the correct way.
Yeah.
That gives me a parts tray and a little work surface.
Excellent.
These are a little bit, they look a bit funny, but to be perfectly honest with you, if you put your screws in the grooves, I'm sure there's poetry there. You see that it's not moving.
Oh yeah.
So I'm liking that. So right, so that one's in just enough to bite. So I was coming home from work today, and a farmer stopped me and he says, "Could you help me round up my 18 cows?" So I said, "Certainly, 18 cows rounded up is 20.
Rounded them up.
Dun, 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 yeah. Okay, so that's the screws put in just enough to bite. And in actual fact, that's holding that window frame. You see how far I haven't screwed them in yet.
Yeah.
And yet that's holding that quite nicely. So that is going to be a really good fit. And I've just noticed the air vents or something there.
Yeah.
Bit there. So that's rather nice. It looks equidistant. See, it's just overhanging just a little bit there. And it's hanging over about the same on the other side.
Jolly
so
good.
I would say that looks to me like a well-made part. So I will trust this enough to continue the screwing.
Yeah.
And my cliche, I'm sure it's a cliche now, maybe a drinking game. Just keep going until resistance increases. You really do not want to over tighten these, because you over tighten on plastic, it will crack the plastic.
You've only got one shot, really.
Yeah, I think there's a huge margin for getting it wrong. I do think to in order to tighten, I'd have to tighten that quite hard. But these tabs, I've just noticed, they're actually very thin.
Yeah.
So they're going to be easier than normal to crack. But
Yeah.
with the fact that this was tight anyway, I can move that around a bit, but I think that's absolutely fine. By the time we've got this bolted in,
Yeah.
that's going to be solid. So the part I find interesting, you've got a couple of locating pegs. You've got one there, a couple there, and one there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you've got holes there and there, and then you've got a couple of grooves there. I'm assuming that's all to do with the windows.
Yeah.
So they will probably slot in, and then something will come over the top, and
Yeah.
those windows are not going to move. So,
Yeah.
and we've got a little ridge around the edge there. So I'm suggesting that these windows will pretty much almost click into place.
Yeah.
So you'll move it around. Because I don't want to get fingerprints on the edge of the windows.
Yeah.
I don't mind in the middle. I'll manipulate it like that because I can always clean it afterwards. But if you get a fingerprint on and then that ends up getting trapped by a piece of frame, that fingerprint will then stay there forever because you won't be able to get at it to clean it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I am super happy with that. So that is stage 5.
Yeah.
Which I
now stage 6, you're going to need your top deck.
I am going to. It's not too heavy at the moment.
So do you want to organize that?
Right. I'm having a look at it and I'm going to say I'm not going to complete it. I will explain why.
Right.
So if you want to just read the directions.
Okay, well, the directions are for stage 6. The front wall can now be fitted to the front of the upper deck by inserting the 3 pegs on the lower edge of part 79G into the corresponding holes in the floor of the upper deck 73A. This fixing is not secure at this stage, so you may prefer to wait until you have the corner sections of the front wall before fitting part 79G in place.
Right. Now, I hadn't actually read that, but that last sentence is the reason why I don't want to fit it now.
Absolutely.
You're shaking your head.
I'm
these pegs here,
yeah,
they don't look, in fact, because I can, I'm going to measure them. They are less than 2.5 millimeters, less than 2.5 plastic.
Yeah.
If those snap, this is the big question I've got. If those snapped, will I be able to secure that?
Exactly. Yeah, in the right place too.
Yeah. So that's why I want to leave it. I'll bring you 2, 3 in.
Yeah, well, clearly in the instructions.
I've left mine off.
Yeah, so I really like that, and I want to keep it to the point. I apologize. Yeah. Right, so I want to keep this like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, while I'm laying it down flat in a parts tray, it's safe. I have knocked my bus. And I just think that is at risk of getting broken.
Yeah.
Right. So what we've got. Oh, do you want to show off the
The finished view.
Finished view.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's 3 pictures, and I think even the bad shot, what I call it the bad shot, if you go up that one, that's probably the worst image because it's all inside, not going to be seen. But yet that looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
You know, if I had to rank those, that would be rank number 4.
Yeah.
And rank 2 and 3 of these ones on the right, only because they've baffled me a little bit.
It's
But
the
the money.
it's just the angles, the angle of the dangle.
Yeah, but for me, that money shot is this one showing the grey and the cream and the silver bit.
Yeah.
That's the money shot for me. I really like that. I'm really impressed with this week.
Superb.
We now seem to be at the stage where we're not building a massive amount, but it's all making a good difference.
Yeah. Do you want to go through some comments?
Yeah. Okay. So let's bring us on, because I know you're dying to see all 3 of us, aren't you? And I'll tell you what, I'll even treat you to a view of me rather than my work desk. There we go. So we've pretty much covered the let's see how far we are. Right, so sorry, right. So we've got Stuart Sullivan says it looks good.
Yeah.
I do like having people's icons on here. It's just unfortunate I'm on this side, so I get most of my screen gets. So there you go. So yeah, Gordy Broker said check above. I think it was about the pictures. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. My jury is still out on that part. I'm not 100% convinced that that's the correct way round, but I'm about 90% convinced. Stuart Sullivan says the detail on the inner wall is amazing. Inner front wall is amazing.
Yes.
Matthew Braun was saying there was a good issue of Terminator this week, assembling the right arm. I don't get. Oh, Gordy Broker, 1, 2, 3, Mother Caught a Flea. Caldecott. Yeah, hi Caldecott. Yeah, I'm good. That image there, that actually is not Caldecott. That's one of our drivers. He likes to take pictures of drivers, but I think it's nice, you know, rather than just we drive past bus spotters and they take a picture. But I've always said, so I'm just listening to my printer. I've had problems with the printer in the last couple of days. Yeah, Caldecott bus spotters. He's a nice, polite young man. We don't mind. We like polite people. Chris is asking. Sorry, Matthew Baum is asking Chris if he's doing the Bismarck. That looks amazing, doesn't it? Stuart Sullivan says, nice job, Penny. We said about the bra, German bra. And Gordy broke. First time I took a girl back to my apartment, she sighed and said, "You don't have much experience taking off bras, do you?" I said, "What was the giveaway?" She said, "The scissors mostly."
Dear, oh dear.
So, police arrested 2 kids yesterday. One was drinking battery acid, the other was eating fireworks. They charged one and let the other one off. Right, there we go. So, Peter Whitlock, very good suggestion this. Would it be worthwhile to give the vents a thin wash of black paint to make them stand out? I'm thinking actually, Vallejo, I know Vallejo do it, but the wash that I've used before it's a wash, and it's I think I've done some painting on my stream before where we've painted a base color And then what we've done is we've applied a wash, and what that wash does is it gets right deep into the recesses, so it darkens the recesses and it makes everything stand out. So yeah, I actually think that's an absolutely fantastic idea. The only problem is if I did this bit to mine, I would have to do all of it. Otherwise, if you're prepared to do that, my magazine bus is going to be fresh out of the factory, which is just the other one I probably will weather. But yeah, that is a really good idea. I'll up a notch. You can also go as far as weathering powders, and you just really take it as far as you want. So we've got evening. Hello here, hello there. Did I just see Dave Mill pop in? So hello, Dave Mill. How are you? So yeah, Stuart Sullivan says really coming together. Harvey De Niro, how are you? He's just popping in to say hi. Just love the old Routemaster. Ian Martin says again, Brill, great to see this issue goes together. It's a superb issue. Steve Hyson says you're really not going to see them. The pegs. Oh no, that was just a minute ago. Oh, I got a feeling that's in response to the weathering. You're not, to be honest with you, if you're not going to see them much, that would encourage me. If I've never weathered or done a wash before, that would encourage me to give it a go more, because if you do muck it up, if you do it too heavy or not enough, it's all right. It's not going to be seen that much. Did you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So just buy a practice piece. But yeah, if a piece wasn't going to be seen as much, that would encourage me. Sorry, every now and again my printer makes strange noises and I'm just worried. So yeah, Trevor Rodway says good thinking. Penny thinks it looks a bit fragile. I assume that's in reference to the I'm not going to fit it. I didn't realize the magazine actually said you don't have to fit it, but I just looked at it and just went, yeah, they're going to snap off. Chris Davis, he's going to be doing his wheels for the Jaguar off stream. In case you don't know, Chris Davies has started doing the Jaguar, and I've got to say, between Chris Davies and Dave Say, that was probably one of the most impressive streams, not even taking into account difficulties. I thought it was an absolutely brilliant, Chris, you were great you were persevering. I watched a little bit and I just thought, yeah, he's going to give up in a minute, and no, you persevered and you got on with it, and really fair play to you. It was brilliant. And Dave Say's knowledge, a bit jealous that he's not got this himself, not in a bad way, but I think he really likes this, and he knows Dave Say, he knows a fair bit about a lot. I'm assuming Dave just had to disappear for a bit, because as you can see from the middle screen, there's just a photo of, is that Big Ben? Right, bear with me a sec, guys. My printer is definitely playing up.
Without reading all the instructions, I too left my one off.
Sorry, Adrian, you said that? Sorry.
I left my one off. I thought, looking at it, think no screws were going to go in, and I thought, I'm going to leave it off.
Yeah, I think it's got I'm going to break written all over it.
Sorry, guys, I just had to leave the stream for a minute to say to our son. So our son visited us tonight, so which was really nice, and had tea with us and everything.
Sorry, guys, I'll be with you in a sec.
All right, no problem. Have I missed anything, Adrian?
No, don't think so. Not for a moment.
Jolly good.
So, did you manage to get your issues today, or you had to?
Yeah, I've got both of them. Yeah, I've got both 79s. So yeah, no problem. And yeah, so we're at 73 at the moment, me and Chris. So we'll hopefully catch up. Maybe this weekend. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing this weekend. So
well, I think 77. You breeze through that one.
77.
Do you guys want to have a look at next week's issue? I've got to say,
Yeah.
I'm really tired.
Yeah, I think we ought to. I think everybody is quite. Look at this.
That is brilliant. I am so happy with that.
Look at this, yeah.
It's a very small picture in the magazine with a lot on in the picture. So although that quality looks a little bit poor, I think in actual fact, Adrian's done well to get it that good. But
Yeah,
I'm quite intrigued by the little silver on Tuesday 5. They look like cogs.
yeah,
So
Yes, I reckon so.
and it actually says the destination blind is attached to rollers and fitted to the front of the bus.
yeah.
So this is going to move, isn't it?
Yeah, well, when you think of a destination blind, you can alter that destination blind via a handle and rollers. And
Yeah.
you can scroll it up or scroll it down. And I do believe that there is a couple of destinations and a couple of numbers that it can move on through someone who I've been talking to a while back now, and he stated that you can actually move the destination onto a couple of destinations.
Yeah. Well, you've got to have. I mean, even if we're stuck with a number 11 service, there's got to be at least 2 destinations, because even if it only did one route, it's going to go from A to B, and then it's going to go from B to A.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm just going to address this comment. Steve Heisner says, Penny, if you're leaving the front panel off, you should leave yourself a reminder of screw type. Not necessary, because they're going to be push fits. So Gordy Broker thinks that they're going to operate from behind the grill under the destination box.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would imagine that they might just simplify it. There might just be a little cog.
Yeah.
You know, they'll panel, it'll go like this, and there'll just be that little bit at the bottom showing, and we can just move it.
You move it like a thumb wheel, yeah. You can move it like you would alter a clock or something.
Just going to go back to this, because Gordy says that the blind says not out of service in the London transport style. I can't actually see it on the magazine. It's just far too there's just too much information in one picture for me to see it, but I think it is actually a better picture on the screen than it is on the actual magazine.
It says private, doesn't it? In white.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have a few destinations.
Private and Clapton Garage, by looks of it.
So does that mean that we will have we'll have the destination on each end, and then the garage, so that they can put up the garage that it's going to?
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Could be, yes.
Are there multiple points? you know how sometimes a bus route, we've got a couple, I'll make it topical with Caldecott bus spotters. There's a bus route that goes from Newport to Chepstow. And what happens is that we've got some routes that only go part way, maybe the last service at night. So it actually starts in the morning. I do one. It starts at Chepstow, at Caldecott. So I think, excuse me, I think we have a late service that only goes as far as Caldecott. So same route number, but instead of going from A to B, it might actually be going from A to E via B, C, and D. And some services may only, so maybe Clapton Garage is on the route. So
you want to bring up the
destination, the last service, instead of running dead back to the depot, they'll run a service just as far as the garage, drop the last customer off, swing it into the garage. You've had the potential to make a bit of money then on a dead run.
Yeah. You want to bring up the chat, the last comment, Kevin Gresham.
So Route 11 primarily ran from Liverpool Street to Hammersmith Green. If you look closely at the destination, it says Dalston Garage, where I used to work. Brilliant. So we have our own Route 11 expert.
Excellent.
So, but we'll probably find out next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've definitely had it. I think
You'll probably find out a week later, though, won't you, Penny?
Oh, of course, yes, because we've got that sad news that next week there won't be a show from me, which means I've got to sit on a magazine for over a week, knowing what's in it and not being able to build it.
Yeah.
Question is, do you want me to build it or just go through the parts and I build it off stream?
If you are able to build it, then I'm sure that I'm sure Gordy Broker. Oh no. I'm sure everyone would like to see it built. So by all means, build it next week on the show. The following week is I will rebuild it, or I will build it for the first time. Obviously, I'll have to watch the show and catch up with your comments, and then hopefully we'll get to. Oh, sorry, Stuart. Right. The rota that I'm on, I do every fourth week I'm on lates. So, and the trouble with me being spare is that I might do absolutely nothing for the whole shift. Or in the case of this week, I'm absolutely hammered with work. We have, I think, a new face. Samantha Gabardon. Hello, welcome to the stream.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Horlicks has had to disappear. He's had a guest who's obviously just turned up because he's had to disappear. Sorry, I'm being put off because of my printer. It's clicking away. I think there's a problem with it, but it happens.
That's all right, Penny. I've just noticed in the chat that Michael Wicks has asked how painting is going on both of the buses. Well, the painting's come to the stop really because there's nothing else to paint yet, because I'm not doing anything inside them. We've done all we can painting wise to the outside because we haven't got no outer skin yet. But that's actually a really good question, because it gives me a chance to say, with next week's issue, the destination blind, it's going to cause me such a major problem with my personal bus, and that's because my bus, the one I'm doing from East Yorkshire Motor Services, didn't have a London blind. It had obviously an East Yorkshire Hull blind, and so I am going to have to find some way around making my own blind, or finding somebody who can make a blind to correspond with the Hull Routemaster that I'm actually doing. Christine's bus would be absolutely fine with the London blind because obviously she's doing the Chili beer Routemaster, and her bus would have run round London anyway, so we don't have to change the blinds on that one. It's just my personal bus that I'll be doing, so that's going to cause me a big problem. So if anybody out there knows of any way we can make a blind, knows of anybody who can make them for 1/12 scale, or has any suggestions, pop them either in the comments or on my Facebook or on the Routemaster group Facebook, and I'll put something on there at a later date about destination plans and the struggle that I'll have. And
the only suggestion I can make, which is probably a daft solution, I have seen an advert somewhere for someone that makes blinds. I think they advertised on something. Now, obviously, they'll know the point font that they're using. So
it's Johnston.
right.
It's Johnston.
Okay. So I just wondered if maybe they could do, mind you, the blind would be too thick, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It's making 1/12 scale. That'll be the problem, because they'll only be very small, won't they?
See, also, it's white writing, isn't it? It's very hard to print white.
Yeah.
So
I thought about getting some white cards and printing the black, if we could probably do it that way.
That would work, because if you overlaid it, sort of more of a stencil.
Well, you could do it more of a stencil, but if you had white card that you printed black on, you wouldn't need to print white on it, would you? You'd just print the black.
If you
isn't one of the LED screens going to be behind it?
Yes.
So you might probably print it on paper. Probably.
Yeah.
Sorry, Penny.
No, it's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, that's the point. You could probably go paper. Yeah.
It's what we have recently. See what it's made of, then try from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the only other thing I can think of, and I think it might be too small, if you could make a stencil, get a black blind, and then and maybe airbrush paint it white.
Yeah.
And then when you lift the stencil, but stencils don't do circles very well, does it?
No.
Like I don't know if I've got it to hand, but remember,
they tend to bleed. They tend to bleed an awful lot as well, don't the stencils?
Yeah. So, but they join up. You remember the old stencils you used to use, but things like the 9 would have those 2 lines in it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just with a big circle.
That wouldn't be a problem painting them in, but it's something I've got to think about, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind having bad suggestions, because sometimes you can go, "Oh, that won't work." But if we try this, so Dave Milne said no. Horlicks has had a guest come round, so he's had to disappear. But we did say at the beginning. I mean, obviously you weren't here at the beginning, but we did say, "Oh, he may have to disappear." And unfortunately for us, this guest came sooner rather than later. But you know, we all have a life outside of this, don't we? So yeah, everyone's saying, which is nice. Gordy broke his. Yeah, we know that. You can't tell him that enough, can we?
No, it's a good one.
Right, Kevin Gresham. We had short runnings to Fulham, Chelsea, Sloane Square, Custodia, and Charing Cross. When you say short runnings, does that mean you've got destination blinds for those, because they were running those routes? And then he's put that should be Victoria as well. Right, so Samantha is doing the Routemaster issue 78. So you are 1 week behind this show. Obviously, you're aware that we do this weekly, so there is a stream for 78. I can't remember what we did last week. Can you? Was it fire?
It was a back frame work.
It was yes. So
Yeah.
Samantha, you are having joy strengthening your top deck. If your emotions are going anything like mine, because I was concerned that we'd done the 3 pieces of floor, and then we strengthened half of it, but we've got this other bit just got that last piece on. I'm really happy because the whole thing is absolutely solid. So Chris is doing a little bit of advertising there. He's telling everyone that he's building the Routemaster. He's doing the Jag live. So Gordy Broker said that he may be able to help you on your build blind.
Oh.
Gordy, shall I, with both of your permissions, would you like me to pass on email addresses to each other?
We've already done that.
Okay, get yourself in contacts then.
Okay, thank you.
Johnson typeface on his computer.
Oh, that would be excellent.
So Ian Martin saying, if you have to put the blinds in, couldn't you print off your own and place that on the blind? Yeah, the problem we've got is that if the blinds were black on white, it wouldn't be a problem. But it's white on black, and printing white is well, I don't know how to do it. So it might be really simple. Maybe it's an inkjet or something. A laser.
Yeah.
If it's white, wouldn't it be clear though?
Well, this is it. I mean, normally when you print, if you print like white on black, what it actually does is it prints the black around it, and the bit that's left is white. It's like yeah. I'll show you this. Actually, I'll cheat. I'll bring it up. My tattoo has got. You can't see it. Right. I've got an extra. I'll have to change the camera angle. Right. So. I mean, you can get white. Right. So you see there's a highlight on that semicolon.
Yeah.
That white was achieved by doing the black around it. So the white bit there is a bit that hasn't been tattooed.
Yeah.
You can get white, but we decided it was easier just to leave that little bit. And that's how you would do white on black. But in this case, I don't know. I don't know if it can be done. It will certainly be difficult. But look, we've got hope in the form of Gordy Broger.
Yeah, absolutely. Why does your mic keep cutting out, Penny, or is it?
I don't know. I'll tell you what I'll do. That's probably because I'm knocking it. Right.
Is it the connection into the computer?
I think so. So what I end up doing is I end up using this the built-in mic on the webcam.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I need to reposition I mean, sometimes if I just knock it, we lose a connection. But I'm looking at different mics, but I'm looking at a lot of things. So the sound quality for me isn't fantastic, but it's good enough.
It's all right. Yeah.
So Steve Hyson says, Dave Say, are you a member of Model Bus Traders on Facebook? They have all sorts on there.
Yes, I am. Yes. Yeah, I'm a member of that. I'm a member of most model bus groups. I've asked actually on one of them today, and they said they could make them, but what are they going to do with the other 149 blinds that nobody wants? So obviously they can make them in big quantities, and
right. So they do the little ones of 50, do they?
Pardon?
150.
They do them in runs of 150, do they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah,
So all we need to do is find 149 other people that are converting the Routemaster bus to a Yorkshire bus.
yeah.
Should be easy.
I don't think so.
Is it sorry, my printer's clicking again. Is it too expensive to buy 159 and dispose of 100? Sorry, to buy 150 and dispose of all bar one?
Yeah, I think so.
No, if it's like 50 quid for 150 of them, I would be tempted. But if it's like 50 quid each for 150 of them, then I'd be like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's more like 50 quid each. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we've got hope in Gordy Broker. It's not impossible. So Matthew Boreham has said, I started doing this but temporarily stopped at issue 5, and I'm considering restarting it from issue 6. I'm very, very biased, but I would say, yeah, restart it.
Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Right. Stuart Sullivan is saying, do you think it might be made of material or paper?
I don't know.
I would guess material, some kind of strength. So it's got to have some strength in it, because if it's like made of paper, by the time you roll it forwards and backwards 50 times, it's just going to wear out. And then you get a bit of moisture in there as well, which is not impossible in a house.
Yeah.
It's going to get into that. I think it's got to be material.
Yeah.
Probably like the sort of paper they use for the bindings for like Basildon Bond or something, like that fake leather you can get. I would imagine something like that. So yeah, everyone else is saying that. Trevor Rodway saying go for it is well worthwhile. Samantha's saying so many wires. Yeah, there's a lot of wires, but isn't it worth it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Kevin Gresham says that's true. If we ran late, the inspector would turn the bus short. Yeah, okay. I've not driven in London, but apparently there's a really good system for the buses if you're running late, and they can actually like pull back every single bus on the route so that they all, to eliminate this wait ages for bus and 3 at once turns up. I don't quite know how it works because I've not worked in London, but yeah, they've got inspectors that are dedicated. They sit behind a computer watching where all the buses are. So Gordy Broker says that he's emailed you.
Oh, thank you.
Stuart Sullivan's asking when Chris does the Jaguar. He does it on a Tuesday, which would have been the last one. Yeah. Matthew Bourne's got 3 going. Bismarck, Terminator, and Routemaster. I've tracked them down on eBay with the help of my godmother. Don't spend too much. There's a few rip-off merchants out there. I am struggling to keep up with the comments, but I will get there. How do you turn off the Routemaster engine sound? I'm doing this from memory, but I think it's the same switch that turns it on. You won't know, will you, Dave? Because you've probably not got that far.
Not got that far yet. No, that's our next issues. Is it's the steel cradle under the seats, and then we're on to electronics.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same way you switch on. You press, like the lights, you press the button to turn them on, press the button to turn them off.
Yeah.
Ian Martin says, anywho, when you do get this sort of day, it'll be good to see. Yeah, I really want to see this result.
Yeah. You'll definitely all see the results when it's all finished. Definitely. There'll be plenty of pictures. I've already worked out how I'm going to take pictures of it, and when it's finished anyway, it'll be like July time next year. So hopefully we'll get some nice days, and I'll take some nice outside photographs of them. And
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Should be good.
I saw a lovely model motorbike. Someone had made this little model, but they positioned it on a wall, and where they had the background of outside, it actually looked like it was full scale, because obviously the background and it sort of had it looked the way it was positioned. He took two pictures. One was like from a distance of the picture of the model sitting on the wall, but one was a close up for the angle was just right. You couldn't see the wall, but it looked like the bike was actually parked on the road. And it was absolutely superb.
Yeah, I've got something similar lined up, and then there is a big reveal that I will be revealing maybe after issue 100, something like that.
Yeah, we love big reveals here.
Yes.
Right. So, is there anything else? We were going to get some people on the show maybe having problems. Is there anyone desperate to get on the show with a problem? We've not got a massive amount of time for that. We've kind of managed to sort of eke this bit out, but if there's anyone that is desperate to come on the show, we can do that. So
yeah, well, we're here to ask questions if anybody needs any help with anything. If you're not members of the Facebook group, I join on there and ask us privately if you wish. It's not a problem. If you don't want to ask us here in public, that's fine. Ask us anything within reason, of course.
Yeah, obviously within reason. Right, so Roger Kendall is saying, got another battery box being delivered. Cannot get anything to work. Any ideas, please? Well, my silly answer is going to be, obviously, wait for the battery box to be delivered and then swap over the battery box. Hopefully that will sort the problems. And then obviously take it from there.
Yeah, maybe worthwhile checking out the wires with a multimeter or something. Making sure there's some continuity through the wires, and that's my big bugbear about wires. Is check them, from one end to the other. Make sure that there's current going right through it, and
yes.
The thing is, I mean, you've got to eliminate as many problems as you can before they're problems. I've checked every single part that came through, and touch wood, it's been brilliant. I've not had a single electrical problem. And then when I plugged everything in, it worked absolutely fine. If you've got a problem, obviously we didn't check the circuit board. I didn't know how to check the circuit board, but had something not worked on my bus when we plugged it all in, I would have been confident it's the circuit board. But if you don't check, something and it goes wrong, you've got to find out where the problem is. So some people maybe forget buttons in the cab. Next week, I'm doing a lot of sorting my room out. I've done quite well. I don't know if you can see the new shelves in the background. I can't remember if they were there. They weren't there last week, were they?
No.
So I did them. So I've now got, so this is about stage 2 of the shelving. You can now see in the bottom right, down there, there's the printer. So there's going to be printers building up on this shelf. This middle shelf is going to be models. So we'll have the Routemaster about there somewhere. And then we'll try and get the Millennium Falcon. I'm thinking about putting a shelf from there going across, because those shelves are 6 foot tall and I'm 5'4". So we'll make like a little not an archway because it won't be an arch, but we'll have a shelf going across there. I'll get some bits of wood going across and then lay something over the top so I can put like Millennium Falcon or something on the and then this shelf there is going to be where R2D2 is going to live. There's currently a desk there which is full of boxes. That's going hopefully within the next couple of weeks. I've got a friend who's going to help me tidy up. I'm going to pay her weekly to help me. And then this shelf here is going to get turned 90 degrees. So that's going to give me a load of space over there. So R2D2 is going to love living there. And it's all going to be lovely and neat and tidy, and things will all be on display in the background. And then what I'll do is I will change my camera angle because I like showing off what I can. I will change my angle to something like that. I will work it out. So basically I'll be this side of the stream with everything in the background. And I've just remembered, for those that are eagle-eyed, oh, got to change that back, haven't I? Those that are eagle-eyed, I've got a new computer chair.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. The guys that moved in next door, it was in the room, and they went to throw it away, and I was doing some laundry, and I said, well, do you know anything about that chair? And they went, yeah, it was in that room, we're going to throw it away. I went, right. I said, get it in my room, and I said, we'll swap it with my little chair. So my little blue chair is now gone, and I've got this, not as comfortable as my old one, but more comfortable than my blue one. And the screws don't keep falling out. So Chris said he didn't notice, but obviously you didn't say anything. Just bear with me a second. I'm just going to check this print.
That's all right. Well, I just want to pick up on what one of the people said in the stream, and that was Steve Ison. He said, are we going to have a meetup after our buses and when our buses are finished? Well, one of the problems with that I see is that we live at each end of the country, more or less. Some of us live nearer than others, and which end of the country or whereabouts in the country would you suggest that we meet? I think it's a brilliant idea. I think it would be an even better idea if we all brought our buses to the meet, or if we could, to show one another. It'd be nice to meet up for a pint or even a mug of tea, whatever. But you know, the practicalities of that are difficult, shall we say, for some people rather than others. Yeah, I've got a vehicle, I could travel, but I don't travel very far from home now. So, you know, it would have to depend on where it was. And, you know, but that is a lovely idea.
Guess.
I mean, the thing is, even if I got like a car sorted out, would I want to transport my bus in a vehicle, you know, over those distances? You know, it's because it's going to be quite tall, isn't it? And it's proportionally, it's not going to be the weight as the same sort of weights as the Routemaster, is it? Because the actual Routemaster is very heavy on the bottom deck. With this one, I think it's proportionally, it's going to be sort of more spread. So it's going to be a little bit more top heavy. I'd be worried that it'd be what, yeah, it's logistically, it's going to be a nightmare. And all those people that would have to travel on the train, you couldn't bring a Routemaster with you on the train.
No.
So,
No,
but
not really.
Yeah, Gordon Broker says we should book a bus garage. That would be absolutely fantastic. But
yeah, we would.
Steve Harrison sound bang in the middle of the country. But again, wherever you book it, I think you could either make it or you can't, really, isn't it?
Yeah, bang in the middle of the country springs to mind Birmingham to me.
Yeah.
Birmingham from here is, a good couple of hours.
Yeah, it's about a couple of hours for me, and it's probably about 2 or 3 hours from London way. But if you're having a bit of a logistics problem, 10 miles is a nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a couple of other things on the chat that Christine picked up on for me. Thanking her for being eagle-eyed as she is, and one of them's the on-off switch. The 3 on-off switches, if they're screwed up too tight, they don't work. Peter Whitlock had problems with the electrics and found the on-off switch was screwed up too tight. So that might be worthwhile looking at. If the on-off switch underneath is screwed up too tight, will it stop it from physically working or short it out maybe? And then
that's a consideration.
And then Samantha asked to see what 79 was, issue 79. So can we quickly...
79. So that shouldn't be a million miles away because it's only last week.
No, this week, 79.
Oh, 79.
Yeah,
okay. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so what I'll do then, so what we've done, every part that we've got this week has come with this issue. There's no joining to previous issues. So what we've done is we've got this little, let's call it a corner unit, shall we? And we've popped the, we've got a little light in there, just like the lights we've got in the cab, in the decks. We've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think that's a 4-piece handrail set. Little bit fiddly. We've got a bit of a debate over which way round this piece goes, but we think we've got it correct there, with a little hole showing there and the decoration on the back. Mine won't stay in. I don't know if you can see there's a gap there, which I'll probably glue in, but I'm not prepared to glue that in until I'm 100% certain that's the correct way round. I'm only 99% sure at the moment. And this, to me, is probably not part of it. So this is a 3-piece. You've got this bit there. We then put the handrail on with 3 screws, and then we put the window in, comes in from behind. And that's what we've got. And I really like this. Maybe it's because of the colours. So, what did you think, Adrian? Have you actually built yours yet, Adrian?
Well, my front piece, yes.
Right. Oh, yeah, of course you did. You showed me pictures. Oh, how daft am I? So, Ian Martin saying we could use the Facebook page to show off. Well, I would hope that we already are, because we do a monthly competition where you post a picture of your build. And whichever one gets the most likes or interactions, then becomes the group photo for the next month. And I'm very honoured to say I won it once, so I'm happy. I can't remember who else has won it, but we've got one in progress at the moment, haven't we, Dave?
Yeah. Fleetwood J's won it, and Dave Hangers won the one that's in progress at the moment. And
right.
I can say that there is only one photo for next month. So what I'm
got 7, 8, 9. Got 10 days for someone else to catch him and win.
Yeah, because I think what I might do is put an extra thing on there about next month's picture. But one month I'd like to put, well, Christine's bus on maybe.
Just found an interesting comment from Peter Whitlock. I don't know if you read this one. I found that over tightening the switch was distorting the switch body, preventing the switch slide from making proper contact. I think what he's basically saying there is that it's the switch isn't actually switching on, therefore no power is going to the various components. So obviously the question is going to be, is everything off? If you've got, for example, the horn works and the lights don't work, then we know the switch is obviously working because there's some power getting through.
Yeah.
So good night, right? Yes, indeed. Hello, Penny. James Tubridy. We've already mentioned you, James, before you even came on the show. We have a high standard now to meet James, because we've got another latecomer who's managed to come on time today. So, oh, sorry, I forgot about you guys.
That's all right. That's all right. We was just twittering in the background.
That's all right. So Roger Kendall, got my bus in my new cabinet, but can't keep the cabinet clean. Static contact dust. So everyone's, it's like when we come in, everyone says hello to people that come in. So Stuart Sullivan says, where did you get the cabinet, Roger? To which Roger has replied, the model mods. So yeah. Obviously, you're aware of David's bases that he makes. Obviously, it's not a cabinet, it's just a stand. But I'm pretty sure that we can find a nice covering for it. I'm actually thinking of just simply bolting some perspex to these shelves, because we've got nice little holes in the sides where we can screw things in. It won't be as good as a really expensive posh cabinet. But it'll do the job fairly well, won't it?
It's down to your budget, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's that, Adrian?
It's down to your budget.
Of course it is, yeah. The more money you spend, the nicer thing you've got. I've not been in any contact with model mods for a long time. But I believe that what they're going to be trying to do is have the cabinet and then have all the electrics part of the cabinet, so you don't need to open the cabinet up to play with the bus. I'm sure they did that or were doing that with the DeLorean, but obviously more features, it's going to cost more money. The less money you can spend. We can't all spend loads of money. Some people that have got the money might choose not to. It's all value for you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all personal choice, isn't it?
Love minis to stand dryer sheets help with static. Yeah, I can't remember how they work, but I've heard that. Yeah. So yeah, there's plenty of options out there. There's all sorts you can do, and I think it's great because it just means all these different options just make your bus more unique.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there's a couple of thousand people out there, possibly more, who are just building this bus exactly as the magazine comes out, and that's how their model will stay. And their model will be different from everybody else's, because different cabinet, maybe some people have coloured the wheels in, whatever, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And people says some of us are pensioners.
Yeah. Pro pensioners.
Yeah. And if you're a Robert Maxwell pensioner, I'm surprised you can even afford to do the bus, let alone get a cabinet to put it in. That's outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm gonna be looking at displaying ours shortly. I've got several ideas in the pipeline, and I'm not looking at spending an awful lot of money. I'm looking at what's going to look nice and be practical, because of where they're going to go in the home, and I'm hoping to put them together. But I might not get room to put them together. I might have to display one and then, change it around this and then display another one later on. You know, so have one out for 3 or 4 months and then have another one out for 3 or 4 months and put the other one away. So I might do it that way. I've looked at various cabinets and things, and I'm swaying towards shop display cabinets more than anything at the moment, and wondering what I could do with one of them. You know, the type of jewelry store shop display cabinets that you see. Well, there's plenty of them hanging around, and I'm thinking, well, if I can get my television on top of one of them cabinets, it would serve as a television stand and as a display stand for my bus. So I was thinking that idea, but it, of course, it'd have to be pretty substantial for it to stand the telly on top, and they would have to be adapted as well. So, but that's just one idea of a few that I've got.
Samantha is saying, how do I stop it from collecting dust? Basically, you stop the dust from getting in. So it's totally enclose it in something, and then all you got to do is clean whatever is surrounding the bus, or you're going to be dusting it regularly. And if you've got it, static does help, because TVs get dirty really quick, don't they, because of the amount of static on them. Or you could just wrap it in a tea towel and cling film it all up so that nothing can get in, but then you won't be able to see it.
At the end of the day, they are an ornament, aren't they? And you know, I don't know whether you can see behind me, but I've got a cabinet full of model 176 scale buses, and even they get a slight film of dust on them. Even though they're in a cabinet with a sealed door, they still do get a very tiny amount of dust on them, and so you have to quickly just dust them over with a lint-free cloth and what have you. But you know, having said that, I don't do it that often. If I do it once a year, that's all I do, because.
Do you enjoy doing that?
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. You've got to be very careful, of course.
When I used to do living care, I looked after this lady that had what we call them knickknacks, lots and lots and lots and lots of tiny little ornaments. And about once every couple of weeks, what we'd do is we'd move them all up, and we'd clean the shelf, and then we'd clean the knickknacks and put them back on. And it takes about an hour to do, partly because she was a little bit slow, and partly because there was just so freaking many of them. Imagine if you're dusting something like buses or something, you know, you're having a little look at each one, and maybe a little memory pops up when you clean it, and I remember that.
Takes hours.
But maybe a soft brush as well would help.
Yeah, I mean, you can get some of these micropore dusters now with the little like strings on. You know, you can get them now. They're very good at dusting, aren't they?
Right, okay, so I am going to, if it's okay with you guys, close down the stream now.
Yeah.
Peter Whitlock saying for dusting individual models, a blusher makeup brush. I wondered actually, a blusher. I've got, bear with me a sec. You know I've got one. I'm thinking something like that, or maybe a different size. Obviously not this one, because it has been used to make up. But something like that would be.
Yeah, I do.
This is really, really soft.
Yeah,
really soft. It won't damage any of it. And all I'm doing is putting dust into the air. Something like that probably be perfect, I think.
Yeah, it would.
Some smaller brushes for maybe smaller areas.
Paint brushes,
Certain areas I probably wouldn't do with this one, but for the majority of it, not a problem. This one come from the body shop, but I think you can get them from all sorts of places.
Yeah.
Well, Panland might have one.
Who?
Panland.
Poundland,
do.
almost certainly. Peter Whitlock is suggesting a photographer's blower lens brush. That's got to be perfect, isn't it? Because those lenses are so delicate, you can't use anything too harsh on them. And you know what those lenses are like. You get so much as a scratch on them and you've buggered the whole lens up. So, yeah, I was looking into those. Right. So I'm absolutely shattered this week, and I'm on 5 a.m. spare, and it's yeah.
Well, we've done 2 hours, so we've done well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I like to sort of run the show so that we've covered everything, whether that be an hour or 3 or 4 hours. Obviously, I can't do 3 or 4 hours, but
No.
Right, guys, so next week we are going to be doing something that resembles a destination blind. So I'm rather excited. I've got rather excited quite often lately, haven't I? I've got excited about the top deck support.
And you're not going to be here next week.
Yeah, I'm going to hate it. I really honestly did hate it 4 weeks ago when I sort of jumped in and watched the show from time to time. Am I right in thinking that this is going to be the first time that yes, because last time you used Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
So that means now I've got to give Horlicks my password for StreamYard as well.
Yes, yeah, it does. Yeah.
So, I will try to catch Horlicks to do a practice with that.
Yeah.
I'm also looking at ways of doing because you can. There's a thing called Restream, and what Restream allows you to do is stream in 2 different places. We've talked about this for a long time ago, but I'm wondering if we can broadcast onto my channel and Horlicks' channel.
That's possible.
I think that could be quite exciting.
Yeah.
So it won't matter whether you're a subscriber of me or Horlicks. I just don't know how the chat would work. Would you guys only be able to see the chat of the YouTube channel the YouTube channel you're watching, or would you see both chats? But that's what we're looking into. So I'm going to say goodbye, and then I'm going to let Adrian and Dave close off the show. So take care, everyone. I think Dave and Adrian are being very polite and letting the other person go first.
Yes.
Right. Goodbye, Adrian.
Goodbye, all.
And goodbye, Dave.
Goodbye and good night, everybody. Sleep well, and thanks for joining us. And remember, join us next week for issue number 80 of Build the Classic Routemaster.
Full expert next week. Right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
See you now. Bye.